And like you say, the world is in such a situation. Here we have very hard weather. It's a special kind of heat when the winds cross the desert and then the sea. And the combination creates an extremely thick, heavy heat. Literally, if you walk out your door, you feel you've just stepped into an oven and somebody closes the door behind you. So it's very hard, and there are fires. And today is a day of huge wind. The fires are spreading. It's also a day of national holiday, I should say national mourning. And there was supposed to be a huge program in Jerusalem, and it had to be canceled because of the fierceness of the heat and the danger of this kind of heat and wind and fire combination. So, signs of the times, you know. Then we had a meeting, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, and some of the members couldn't join. And we found out later it's because Spain, parts of France, and Portugal just ever suddenly lost their electricity. They couldn't connect like that. Disconnected from all this wonderful technology. And we know, Baba's telling us, these are the scenes coming up. So, spiritual intoxication in the middle of all of that. And we know what is going to be surrounding us and challenging us might be nothing compared to whatever inside me I've not resolved and needs to emerge to be finished. So, spiritual intoxication, you know, I was thinking about what it really means. And I started by just asking myself, have I seen? And what would be the signs of somebody who is in that spiritual intoxication? And I could think of the dadis right away. For those of you who've met the dadis, it's not at all the kind of intoxication out there in the world where there's all that emotion and excitement and jumping around. The daddies never jumped around, but there was such a serenity, such a depth to their personality, sparkle in the eyes. They walked around like masters, even though we had three completely different examples of that spiritual intoxication, because each of them were so different. Dadi Gulzar, Dadi Prakashmani, Dadi Jenki. So we have a model of what spiritual intoxication looks like. And we also have pictures of the deities. We've seen them in visions, in dreams, pictures of those created by those who did have visions. And we see that same serenity, that same incredible royalty, divinity. I don't think we have the words spiritual intoxication in the golden age, but surely we are that. We are that. It would be connected to a deep, deep sense of contentment, fulfillment. So, what is this spiritual intoxication that we want to sustain. We have an image for it. And I'm sure many of us would have even experienced it our own selves. Those moments when, without any effort, I'm being moved by what is true in me. Maybe there's been a challenge, and in hindsight, I realize I was good. I had the right feelings. I had the right thoughts. That kind of feeling of how truth is really beginning to win inside me. That's a kind of feeling which I think we could call spiritual intoxication. It adds and accumulates and ultimately produces that huge stability, serenity, confidence in the self. That truly, this is the confluent sage. Truth is going to win, and I'm an instrument for that victory. So basically, what are we saying? With it looking like that and understanding it this way, couldn't we say that what we're really talking about is soul consciousness? Yeah. Spiritual intoxication is the expression of soul consciousness in action. What do you think? Could be. And so it's less mystical because we know soul consciousness. That's been a focus for us for a long time. So talking about maintaining my spiritual intoxication really is just another entry point into a subject we've been working with for so long. The daddies were living in the consciousness of being souls, in the consciousness of eternity. Surely the deities were too. So I'm really just looking at that. How can I take moments where I've really succeeded in being loving to Baba and quite detached from whatever else is going on? Because as they add up, the intoxication, the consciousness of being a soul would be accumulating and produce this effect, produce this experience. There's probably a couple things I could share in terms of what I'm doing to increase that consciousness of being the soul, not the body. And I'm sure we all have tips at this point. But I can tell you that recently I learned about a challenge that they're doing in Spain. And we've taken it up here in Israel too. It's the 30-day concentration challenge. And they've created a whole list of drills done by Bapdada at the end of a Murli. And the idea is you can choose any drill and you have to do it at least 8 times a day, at least, for 3 minutes each time. I've been playing with that. I'm hearing a translation. Somebody else hearing that too?
There is a problem with the translation.
Mm. Is it all right now?
Ne.
It's a chance to practice our karmatit stage, whereby we are completely free from whatever are the programmings and conditionings acquired in the last 2,500 years, which would produce any reaction to what's going on now.
I think
Is it
you can
okay?
continue. Yeah, I think it's okay.
So actually, this is one of the drills that I've been working with today. This is a drill from Baba, and he's saying that so I am stabilizing myself in the awareness of my karmatit stage. That stage where I am absolutely free from whatever the programmings and conditionings of the past 2,500 years. Even if I don't feel often to be karmatit, that space exists in me already, eternally. And I can connect to it just by coming into the awareness. I am a soul, and I am the one who inspires the thoughts I'll think, the words I'll speak, the actions I'll take. And it's so beautiful to come into, at last, to come into the right relationship with my body. I'm the master. I inspire the thoughts, the words, the behaviors. And they will be right. They will be elevated naturally. The feelings, the good wishes, compassion, mercy, it'll all be there. Because as much as I am the master and the body is just the instrument for me to express myself through, Baba has invited me to be his instrument. We're working together. It's his pure thoughts, his pure feelings, which I take to inspire my own. So I don't know if you can imagine what happens after practicing that 8 times in the day for 3 minutes. I mean, first of all, concentration definitely is increasing. But so is this intoxication, because it's the truth. and we start touching the truth, we start feeling the truth, and it's the truth that starts ruling us again. Even if it's just those 3 minutes that I can actually come into the awareness, it's very intoxicating. Meaning stabilizing, convincing, assuring, like that. So maybe I can see how to get those drills to you, and you can enjoy the drills because it supports our efforts to be soul conscious, to increase our ability to focus on the unlimited. And there would be other tips too, like, for example, what I've discovered in my meditation is that you can actually have 2 dimensions of yoga. One is when you're just experiencing yourself as a soul, free, eternal. And the other is when you're experiencing any one of your roles. I'm a world benefactor. I'm an ancestor soul. And actually, I've come to feel that there's effort involved in losing yourself in any one of your roles. You have to create thoughts and maybe sometimes images, but just to come into the awareness of being a soul. You don't even have to think, you don't even have to create an image because it's the truth. Both are the truth. But just to give time to that most simple, lean back on those waves and enjoy myself. And there would be other tips too. Maybe we can share a few more a little bit later. But what I felt was really useful is to put some time into understanding how, if it is my original natural stage to be soul conscious and in spiritual intoxication, then what takes me out of it? I mean, we all know the obvious stuff. Body consciousness will take me out of it. Something happens, I'm triggered, and so then there's all that old stuff, old survival mechanisms like defensiveness or a resistance, opposing, criticizing, even jealousy, which is very subtle, but it's there. So we know that that'll definitely pull me out of the consciousness of truth and the spiritual intoxication of living truth. But I would also like to talk about another thing which pulls us out, which might be even more subtle. And that is sometimes nothing's happened. Nobody said anything. And there's been no situation which has triggered you. But it's like you just wake up in the morning, or you just finish a task, and you're tired. Maybe there's a little even disheartenment, and there's no reason for it. Or, and this is more specific to what I want to look at, you start having thoughts which are just not you as you know yourself. Or you have behaviors which are not you as you know yourself, or the way of speaking. So, for example, you literally have the thought not to get up at Amrit Vela, when for years you would never even question that. You're someone very regular with a lot of respect for discipline, but here's this thought. Why? You know, I'm tired. Or you have this thought not to brush your teeth, even though you're somebody who, or take your medicines, take your pills, even though you're somebody who is very, very conscientious about taking care of the body. And it's not necessarily laziness or carelessness, which Baba has talked about, but you just don't feel like it. It's not you. Or you have a thought suddenly, which is not at all like the way you usually think. There's really a thought of judgment, harsh judgment, or dislike. And you're not a person who does that. This kind of thing, I think, is a growing reality as we head towards the end of the cycle. I don't know if you all relate to what I'm talking about. Does it make sense to you? Yeah. I think it has something to do with the negativity in the atmosphere. As the systems of the world are collapsing and people are getting more and more desperate, there's a lot of very negative energy all around us. And I've honestly come to feel that whether it's something from inside me, some old karmic account, or something from outside me, the point is that this negative energy has attached itself to me. It's attached itself to me. And so then the question is what to do. What to do. Because when we're triggered, somebody said something or something's happened, we know what to do. We have yuktis, we have notebooks full of thoughts to give ourselves and ways to sit in yoga, to detach, to give to Baba, pull in Baba. We know what to do. But this is different. Negative energy has attached itself to me, and it's not my energy necessarily. So what to do? What would you say? You can write it in the chat. If I can read, I need new glasses. But what about you, Maria? What would you say? What to do?
Well, that's a good question. What to do? We know what to do, actually, but we don't do it. We forget it at that moment, and we are involved in the situation and the negativity as being reality. But it's not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
So we have to be very quick in a second to connect with our own self and Baba's knowledge and everything. But
It's very tricky, isn't it? I mean,
very,
again, this is when I know the trigger. But it's already a good step if there's been no trigger, but you already have begun to recognize when you are not yourself. It's a big step forward, and I think it's important for these times because a lot of people in the world, Lokik, are going to go crazy. And we're subject to that same extremely intense energy. And maybe it won't make us go crazy, but it will make us lose ourselves. So it's very, very powerful already just to recognize that this is going on. Yeah. And that take all the negativity you want in the world, outside or inside, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. Because what we're looking at here is the things that erode my spiritual intoxication. And like I was saying, surely spiritual intoxication is so connected to how much I'm able to live the truth, stay in the truth. Acceptance, somebody said, thank you for that. Acceptance, that would be good. That would be good. Just accept it. It's a little bit like you were saying, Maria. Don't get into it. Just say, yeah, this is how it is, and keep up with my good efforts. And what would be the primary quality to keep our attention on so that we can have acceptance? We can just keep moving on. We don't allow ourselves to get into it. Anybody?
Somebody said detachment,
Detachment is great.
determination.
Very good. But then again, what's going to allow that detachment? Because for years, that's what we've been practicing. But still, these dark shadows keep appearing and fool us. They succeed in pulling us in. So, what could be the foundation quality to work with so that I can have determination? I can have um, uh, acceptance, and what was the other one you said?
Always mercy. Somebody said
Merciful, merciful. This is actually a very good methodology. Baba once even said this in a Murli, that whatever you feel is lacking in yourself, like maybe it's in an incident in which somebody's hurt you, or you're feeling insulted, and you don't have patience, you don't have compassion, you don't have acceptance. Baba was saying, give it anyway, whatever you're lacking. Connect to Baba and then give it, because as much as you continue to give it, especially having first connected with Baba, that much it'll increase in you. And he called that double service. This is a secret. And this is how we end up giving blessings and taking blessings. Whatever the other person is doing or saying, I get blessings because I am producing the right quality or virtue, sharing only that, and so it's growing in me. This is how I receive good wishes and pure feelings when I give them, no matter what their reaction is, because I'm giving myself pure feelings and good wishes. So it's true. Just keep on with is exactly what you feel you're missing. But what quality will allow that to happen? Because if we can put our finger on one particular virtue or one particular quality and keep focusing our soul conscious efforts on that, we would have power. We would have a pretty powerful key to keep ourselves in truth, keep ourselves moving in truth, and so enjoy that spiritual intoxication. Introversion, very nice. And what will allow us to introvert, turn within? So thank you very much for playing along with me. Can we see the video? let's see this little video and see if it gives us any ideas. Again, one quality to focus on, which will give us all these other things. And so we can secure for ourselves that karmatit space, which is a truth. We just need to have it working for us more. So can we see this video?
Yes, sister. Okay, here it is.
Yeah, right from the beginning, and we'll probably want to watch it twice because it's very short and it goes very fast. Right from the beginning. We're not at the beginning right now. Okay. Yeah, somebody said courage. Why? What did you see there, Maria? What did you see?
Well, I saw the little guy carrying this huge, very probably heavy ball,
Yeah,
and then trying to push it. He didn't have the courage to hold it, and but the ball. He was disappointed, but the ball went and finished everything, and then he realized I did it.
he did it. He did
Yeah.
it. So, anybody else see that or something else? I'm not exactly sure about his relationship to that ball. I mean, did he drop it or did he? I mean, it was too big for him to throw, right? So the best he could do was just, I guess, drop it, right? But what happened after that? Did he fall? No, he didn't fall. I don't think he fell. Can we see it again and just see if we can catch some of the detail here? Especially in terms of what qualities do we see operating? Okay, so anything else you saw there, Maria?
Well, actually, he made the effort. The ball
He
was
made the
really,
effort. He
yeah,
made the effort.
he didn't give up.
No, he didn't give up.
He did the best he could do.
He did the best he could do.
And
And then what?
then when he fell, he was watching what was
Mhm,
going on.
mhm,
When he saw
mhm.
the effort he made, it was enough for the ball for the ball to go to its target.
Yeah,
He stood
pin,
up
stick
and
the
he was
pin.
amazed and he was
Mhm, mhm.
successful.
So what are the other qualities you saw in that? First of all, was he spiritually intoxicated? Was he intoxicated?
Oh, yes, he wanted to make it. He was intoxicated. He was determined. He had a
That's right.
determination to do it, even though probably it was very heavy. But
Exactly.
somebody wrote in the chat, he was praying.
Yes, I saw it. I can see the chat, the chat, and I'm reading it. And
Yeah,
that's interesting. In other words, did he fall, or as soon as the ball goes down, did he go into his prayers?
probably.
When I look at it, the more I look at it, the more I think he didn't fall. He literally did what he could do, which was to move that to the alleyway, drop it, and then the rest was prayer, as someone said, or faith. Someone
Faith.
said faith. Yeah,
He had the faith that it will be successful. He had it from the beginning, from the moment he picked up this huge ball.
that's right. I mean, he probably had a lot of faith in what? That he picked up a ball which is bigger and heavier than him. So faith in what?
But he could succeed.
That he would succeed. Faith in himself,
Yes.
determination, self-confidence. There must have been some kind of self-confidence there. Like I say, the ball is probably heavier than he is, but he picked it up. And from a professional bowler point of view, you know, he didn't throw that ball. He just got it to the alley and dropped it. But he did the best he could do. And then what did he do? What does it mean that he prayed, that he had faith? What are we really saying here? What did he do?
He celebrated his success.
That was at the end. Just before that, what did he do? Did he run down the alleyway to guide the ball some more? No.
No,
Did he run down the alleyway to push down the pins himself? No.
no.
He just um, left it. He just left it. You know where I'm going with all of this in terms of what might be that one quality we really need to pour all our efforts of soul consciousness in, because it will produce that spiritual intoxication. In other words, there'll be more and more of those feelings that truth is winning in me. I think most of you have said it, faith. Yes, faith. I also feel it is faith. It is faith. But what faith means is, even if negative energy has attached itself to me from the inside or from the environment and the outside, and I'm wondering what's happened to me, what's going on. Maybe I'm not a golden age soul like Baba says, sometimes. If I can recognize, at least just recognize that however heavy or deep are the feelings, anything negative is not the truth. And just to have the faith, the absolute faith that I only need to keep myself in the truth. And so don't touch it. Don't touch those negative feelings. Don't give another thought to them. Don't get into it. Don't entertain what's happening to me. What is this? Don't touch it. Have that self-confidence, have that determination, keep picking up the biggest balls, challenges or whatever, and just do the best you can. Drop them and then don't touch it. means this kind of faith, you know what it's really faith in? And I feel this is what maintains spiritual intoxication the most. It's really having faith in goodness. I'll pick up the heaviest challenge and I'll drop my 2 cents worth of goodness, as best I can, a pure thought, as best I can, a pure feeling, good wish. As best I can, I detach, I surrender, I'm with God as best I can. And then nothing else matters. The pins fall down, the pins don't fall down. The person likes me, doesn't like me. People accept my idea, they don't accept my idea. Everything is good. I'm good, the drama's good, Bubba's good, family's good. Faith that everything is good. You cannot lose your spiritual intoxication if you really have faith in goodness. In fact, it's a Merle that I've stuck on my cupboard to look at all the time. It's a passage in a Merle, Aviak Merle, in which Baba literally says, this awareness of how everything is good. Baba is good, you are good, the family is good, the drama is good. This cuts all karmic accounts like a scissors. So it's kind of like what you were saying before. Just don't touch it. Just don't touch anything outside of what we've now understood is the truth. The truth is always just simply positive. Drag myself over to positivity, no matter what's happening. Even if I only can get onto the wavelength of positivity by looking at my curtains and saying, I love the color of these curtains. Give that to your mind if you can't give anything else. Because I've really understood that awareness, anyway, is an accumulation. It's an accumulation of thoughts or experiences. So let me just have this one intention. Keep accumulating positive, constructive, even elevated thoughts, feelings, words, behaviors. Based on, of course, knowledge-based faith, we have to prove this to ourselves, that everything really is good. But if it's true that spiritual intoxication is just the experience of moving around, more and more free of all the old stuff because I'm more and more living the truth, then I feel it's a real key. So I don't know if anybody wants to say anything.
You gave us so much information about what to do now, and we are thinking about it, how to do it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how can we be all that, and how we can the atmosphere doesn't affect us. We are affected by the atmosphere. We know everything. Probably we haven't practiced that
Right. That's right.
deeply. That's why the atmosphere attracts us and interferes.
We
How,
get pulled in. Yeah.
yeah, how can we find this 1 second that we can tune to the truth
Right.
and stay here?
First of all, like I say, I think it's an accumulation. Many opportunities throughout the day in my interactions to practice this, that everything is good. I'm not going in the direction of complaining, worrying, opposing, criticizing. I'm not going there because I've understood everything is good. That's a first step, of course, to prove that to myself. And secondly, a beautiful definition of body consciousness and soul consciousness came to me the other day. Body consciousness is when you believe the negativity and you get into it and you try to sort it out and you get lost in it. Soul consciousness, it's a story. Body consciousness is you're getting lost in the story. Soul consciousness is approaching whatever's happening in the story from this framework. What is there to learn? So that's the track. Everything is good because it's tailor-made lessons for my own purification process, my own desire to practice truth. And in that case, finish my karmic accounts or start living more firmly in that space which is already free, pure. It's a practice, and I have to be attentive. And again, another tip, cut down the amount of time on the internet. Because I'm sure you all would have realized this, that it interferes with the ability of the brain to stay alert. There's a very interesting video going around these days, which is a conversation with AI. Somebody asked AI, if you were the devil, what would you do to make people go as far away as possible from God? And AI's answer is, first of all, I wouldn't use obvious evil. The devil doesn't roar, he whispers. I would use very subtle evil, like, look at these things. I would normalize self-centeredness. Normalize self-centeredness. Encourage people to think that this is what life is all about. My happiness, my comfort, my success. But also, how did he say it? Promote busyness. Fill their lives with every kind of entertainment. Endless access to internet, scrolling. Because all of that makes you too busy to cultivate a pleasure or a connection with quietness, silence, stillness inside. So look what's going on in the world today, We have so much of this noisiness and self-centeredness. AI also was saying, how did he put it? Redefine evil and goodness. So that people come to think that what's really evil, what's really bad, is actually good. And what is actually very good, they think it's evil. So for example, to be obedient, to have trust and faith and discipline. In a world like today, it's been turned around. That's now seen as repression. You have to follow your heart. Surrender is seen as weakness. So Look at the world we have today, and internet feeds into this so much. Because in a word, more than anything, we need to be alert. And we need to be so comfortable in that space of purity, which already exists in the soul, whether I feel it or not. It's there. I just need to give as much time as I can to plugging myself into it. Means plugging myself into Baba. Spend time thinking about Baba, looking at Baba, being with Baba, enjoying a quality of Baba's. Or like I was saying, just be the soul. And these drills help a lot, I found. You know, the most beautiful definition of remembrance I've ever heard is from Sister Mohini. She said it quite a while ago that remembrance means to awaken the experience of what truly belongs to you. Remembrance is to awaken the experience of what truly, originally belongs to you. And it connects to a definition of love. She was saying, you know, spiritual love, God's love, is not the satisfaction of emotion. It's more like a filling of treasure, a filling of treasure. So putting those two together, Didi was also saying that remembrance, the ability to stay in remembrance, that space where I'm free, the purity, the truth is running me. It's ruling me. It's very connected to needs. Like, for example, if I'm not hungry, I don't remember food. I don't think about food. If I'm not thirsty, I don't remember water. So maybe what we need to be doing is taking a very good look at what is it I truly need. And when we get very clear about that, figure out new ways, creative ways, diverse ways of taking it from Baba, really, truly, sitting and allowing him to love me, meaning transferring of treasure, filling me with that. And then even if I'm not feeling that pure feeling or that good wish, I know what it looks like. I'm going to take from Baba and I'm going to give it anyway. All of these things, I think, add up, which is why I like alertness. Alertness and faith that goodness is the name of the game. It means no excuses, no reasons not to be spiritually intoxicated. Or if I'm not, there are lessons to learn. Let me learn them. There are things to practice. Let me practice them. There's still time. Probably not much, but some. Anyway, this is how I've been working with it. I haven't been, I don't think I've ever held the aim of staying spiritually intoxicated, but I have held the aim to be a self-sovereign, to be an instrument for Baba, and all of those things are just another way of saying taking up residence in the truth, the unlimited, and letting that run me more and more.